Life Management Science Labs would like to acknowledge that we live and produce this podcast on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people. We'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands of our listeners and our international colleagues. We'd like to thank and pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Hello everyone and welcome to Bouncing Back, the Personal Resilience Science Insights podcast produced by LMSL, the Life Management Science Labs. We are champions of life management science, providing structured insights informed by science and inspired by practice on key aspects of conscious living. Each week we bring you scientific and practical insights on each element with the expert knowledge of professionals in the field. Let's get started. Hi everyone and welcome back. I am your host Tia and today I am joined by Dina Sargeant, fellow colleague and host of All Together and Raising Parents. In today's episode we are talking about the role of humour in our daily lives and how it affects our personal resilience. So let's get started. Hi Dina, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited for today.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Very exciting. Now obviously you are a fellow host.
Yes.
And what do you host?
I host two podcasts in sort of the same realm, talking about family and parenting. So the host, I host All Together, which is the family podcast, as well as Raising Parents, which is the parenting podcast.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing this for about a year.
Yeah, we started at the same time.
Yeah,
I always ask that question, but me and Dina started at the same time. We did our induction onboarding thing together.
Yes, Sisters Unite with
yes,
all that.
Amazing. It's so good. I love our team. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. So,
no, it's so good.
How about you tell the audience a little bit more about yourself? What do you do outside of hosting our shows?
Well, I'm also doing my master's. I'm in the last semester of it.
Oh my gosh,
so
last
excited.
semester.
I know.
Wow, that's so exciting.
And then I'm done studying for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Until I decide to do a PhD.
Yeah.
But so I'm doing that. I'm also running some social media for a small other company on the side.
Yeah.
Which is fun. And then I'm saving up to travel more and more.
Yeah, where are you going?
I'm heading to London this year.
London, baby.
And then I'm planning on Japan next year.
Japan next year?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
One place a year.
Oh my goodness, that's the dream. Oh my gosh, yeah. Dina's going to London first before I go.
Yes.
She's going to go and suss it out and see
I'll tell you how the Harry Potter place is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's going to be so cool.
I know, I'm so excited.
Are you doing like other parts of England or just London?
Other parts.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to go to as many as I can. I was going to go to Paris, but it costs so much.
Really?
Yeah, it costs
To
like
take,
extra
like, the
$300
train.
to take the train. 'Cause
Oh.
it's a special train.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but from what I've seen anyway, there might be another way to do it. But
Okay.
yeah, we'll see.
Oh.
I'm only there for 3 weeks, so it's not a lot of
so
time.
not a lot of
Not a lot
time.
of time.
But like the UK is so small.
Yes.
I did not realize how tiny it is. It's so like you can get from like one end to the other
Australia's
in like
bigger.
a day. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're so huge. But anyway, yeah. Weird flex, but all right. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna do some get to know the guest questions now. So this is where I'm gonna ask Dina some random questions that are not related to the topic at hand. So first question, what is a recent book you have read?
Recent book that I've read and currently rereading because I missed so many parts.
Amazing.
Is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Whoa. Okay. I feel like I've heard about this.
I think it's everywhere.
Right,
I think it's a bit weird if you haven't.
Yeah. Okay. No judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been into that book so quickly. It's like my number one train read for anything at the moment.
Love.
So it's in my bag right now. So I'm going to read it.
Cool. What is it about?
It's basically going to talk about like this person is going to do a biography, gets asked to write a biography about the Evelyn Hugo, who is who has never been on social media, never had any like talked about her life or anything. So then she's going to give her, the journalist, the inside scoop to her entire life. So yeah, it's pretty good. I haven't really gotten so deep into it yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm excited to dive deeper.
But you would say it's a good book.
Yes, I would definitely say it.
Definitely want to read it. All right. Second question. What is a movie you would recommend?
A movie? I have recently been rewatching the Mummy series. It's like
The Mummy series?
yeah, it's the one of Brendan Fraser in it.
Oh, okay.
It's like this couple. Well, first it starts off with them not being a couple. It's sort of they go and read out a book, and suddenly the old mummy comes to life and starts causing havoc around everything. It's like a movie of 3, like a franchise.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it is. I've been rewatching it with my cat for like
With my cat.
like it's me, her, and then my laptop right there. So we're watching
I love
it.
that you're watching it together. Like, it doesn't just have to, like, doesn't happen to just be there, like, actively,
she's
like, we're
sitting
watching
there.
this.
She's sitting there with me and we watch it.
I love that for you guys.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I love Brendan Fraser. He's
so
great.
good.
He's so good. Oh my goodness. All right. Third question. Who is your famous role model?
Famous role model. I know I've probably said this on another show somewhere, but I think it would have to be Selena Gomez recently.
God, I love her so much. Oh
Like,
my gosh.
Just because like all her personal life that goes on, she's still able to run a business, hold a career.
She's done so well.
Yeah.
Like,
and even
amazing.
with her diagnosis of having lupus and all that stuff, like she still managed to not let that hold her back.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so amazing.
Totally.
Like no matter what happens in your personal life, you still thrive through and you still go
oh my
through
gosh.
it.
And she's gone through so much. Like, she's not had an easy life.
And paparazzi are terrible with her as
my
well.
gosh, they've been so horrible to her. She does not deserve that. Did you watch her Me, Myself, and My Mind, or the Apple
Me, Myself
documentary?
Yeah. I did see
I love that.
Oh,
it was so good. She's I love her so much.
It just made me want to document my entire life as well.
I was like, this is cool. I was like, I freaking love this. No, she's so great. Did you ever see her like in concert or anything?
No.
Oh,
never
okay.
growing up. Like I wish I would have. But I was never a
awesome.
big concert person growing up. I think I wasn't allowed to go to concerts.
Okay, fair enough.
But now I'm like, okay, next time she comes, I'm going.
Oh, she was so amazing. I remember I saw her. It was the Revival tour.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember when it was. It would have been 2016 or 2017.
Okay.
She was amazing. She was awesome, and she had Joe Jonas with her as like, because that was when he was in DNCE.
Okay.
His like band that he had.
Yeah.
So cool. I was so close to Joe Jonas.
Oh
like,
my
not to
God.
go on a random tangent. He like came into like the audience.
Yeah.
And he was literally like right
my
there.
God.
I died.
I'm so jealous.
Like, yeah, like little like 12-year-old me was dying, like Selena Gomez, Joe Jonas, like I was living my Disney dream.
Yeah. Wait till she comes back on tour again and then we'll.
Oh my God. Yeah, right? So cool. Yeah, we have to go. All right. Fourth question. What is your favorite podcast?
Favorite podcast would have to be the podcast done by Emma Chamberlain.
Yeah, cool.
I
love her.
I love the way that she does it, and I love the stuff that she talks about. It's so in depth of like how your mind works and what you think about.
I haven't listened to it.
It's called Anything Goes.
Yeah.
So it's probably the only podcast I really listen to.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm so invested in every episode that comes on.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, it's definitely worth trying out.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely going to give it a listen because she's really cool. I've loved watching her evolution, like back when she was dating like Ethan Dolan.
Yeah.
Like
when we were
so
kids
crazy.
and she was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember
gosh.
watching her YouTube videos when she was going back from school and she was in the car driving herself home, and I'm like, oh my God, she's gone so different.
I know. She's gone like full Vogue. I'm just like, dude, this is so awesome. Like that's such a path. Okay. Final question. What is a course you have completed?
Course I've completed. I think I've done a lot of little stuff here and there. I think one of my favorites would have to be doing my diploma in education.
Yeah.
Because it made me see that I did not want to be a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, I'm not cut out for that kind of life.
Yeah, it's hard. Oh my goodness.
There's a lot. And then I have to, the reason I didn't want to be one is because I had to go and tell a child that he needed to improve in something. I'm just staring at his face like, I can't do that. I'm like, you're doing great.
Yeah. Everything you do is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You're perfect. Don't change.
Oh.
So it made me see that I was not cut out to emotionally handle being a teacher.
Yeah. It's a great learning curve though. Like you gave it a shot and then you realized that it wasn't for you, which
I'm glad it was 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Not like.
I stick things through. So like if I could not leave halfway and say that I didn't do it, so I stuck it out the entire year.
I love that. Oh my goodness. But still, like that's so cool though.
Yeah.
Like amazing. Well, thank you for answering those questions.
Well, that's okay.
So as I mentioned today, we're talking about humor being funny and how it affects our personal resilience. Me and Dina are hilarious.
Yes. We're very
We think we're funny.
Yeah. We laugh at ourselves.
Yeah, we think we're hilarious.
We're self-deprecating.
Yep, 100%. But before we dive into this whole humor concept, for our listeners, Dina, how would you define personal resilience?
Oh, I was dreading this question so much.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah. I think for me, personal resilience is to getting back and not letting things hold you back.
Yeah.
So getting back to it and just being like, okay, this is a situation now. I can either fight or flight. And resilience for me is always fight.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run away from anything. I've never been one to stop halfway and do things halfway.
Yeah.
I will keep going through with it until it's the end.
Yeah.
So if things don't go the way I planned it, and I'm a huge planner, I take a step back and sort of assess it. I cry for a while and then I'm like, okay, the situation's changed. What can I do to fix it?
Yeah.
So I try not to stay in the dumps for too long. So that's pretty much how I would define my own understanding of personal resilience.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I'm on the same path in terms of like, that's why our show is called Bouncing Back, is because it's about being able to recognize challenges and sort of face them and confront them. And then even if you are affected by them, because everybody is, like no one's immune to it. No one is invincible, which I'm going to ask you in a second about that. But yeah, I think personal resilience, it is all about just being able to get back on track and, you know, giving yourself that moment to grieve and cry and sort of have your dramatic moment. Yeah. And then just being like, okay, how can I move forward? How is this going to go? What do you think are some common misconceptions about personal resilience? I mentioned before the one about like being immune. Yeah. What do you think about this?
I think I agree. Immunity is thinking that you aren't supposed to feel these things are a big misconception. Like it's okay to cry about it. I cry constantly.
All the time.
All the time. About no reason at all. Sometimes there's no reason.
No reasons.
But yeah, I end up just like one of the big misconceptions that I know a lot of my friends sort of go with is that why am I don't have that much problem. I don't know why I'm crying. Yeah. I don't know why I'm not. Well, I shouldn't be allowed to feel so upset. Yeah. I have nothing to complain about. But it's like your body is telling you that there is something not right at that moment. And it's okay for it to not be right. Yeah. You don't have to be, you could be dealing with so much or you could be dealing with so little and still be affected either way.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like your feelings are valid. Yeah. And if you're having a tough time, then like it's a tough time for you. Like even if it might not be the same for someone else, it's like you've got to listen to yourself and your body because your body is for you. It's for nobody else.
Exactly. I cried when my plant died, for example.
Really?
Like I was looking after that for so long and suddenly I just saw it and it
I think I would cry too. Yeah. I've had my plant for like, this is so random, but I've had my plant literally since like COVID. She was there all through COVID. Yeah. Like she's my gal. Like, I got her from IKEA. Yeah. And she's so cute. And I love her so much. I literally think I would cry if she died. I don't know what I'm going to do when I go to England. I'm like, who? I'm like, can I take her on a plane like back to my parents? Like,
just get a leaf.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what do I do? So I think I'm going to have to, it's like, It's going to be up to my brother to keep her alive.
Oh, God.
Which is really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would totally cry about that. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You can cry about
Exactly.
it.
It's
You're allowed to cry about anything.
worthless.
Yeah.
It's still something.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
You're allowed to recognize your emotions. Definitely. All right. So let's get into humor and being funny because that's what we're good at.
Yeah, we change from sad to humor really quickly.
yeah, exactly. It's me and Dina's like key coping mechanism.
Laugh and cry.
Yeah, exactly. So humor.
Yes.
What is it? How do you define it personally?
What is it?
Yeah. What is humor?
For me, humor is, I mean, like everyone has their own definition, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own understanding. For me, I understand humor to be something that is definitely part of our daily life. Like I said, if you don't cry, you laugh. Like that's the only way you deal
Totally.
with situations. And for me, those are only two ways that I deal with negative situations. I either cry or I laugh about it.
Yeah.
Majority of the time I'm laughing. I'm just like, I'm so
me
stupid.
too.
But that's how I would define it. It's the way of going through your daily life and going through understanding that you can laugh about stuff. Like sometimes there's humor that you shouldn't laugh about. I laughed at a funeral once. It was really bad.
Oh my gosh.
Like they were saying something, a funny story. They were saying a story. And then I'm just like, I'm here laughing. And I'm like, this person is like.
Was it a funny story though?
It was a story about how they lived their life. And they lived their life by the minute. And it was like one of these situations that ended up being really bad. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I would have laughed.
But like everyone else laughed about it too. I felt that because I was laughing.
Yeah.
But there's no right or wrong situation to really laugh.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't hold it.
Yeah.
I could not control that at all.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I would define it.
Yeah. No, great. Yeah. I think humor is definitely something that's a part of everyday life. And I think you can laugh by yourself. Like you don't have to be laughing with someone or at someone or anything. Like I find myself so funny. I'm like, I think I'm hilarious. And I just find like the humor, like these really funny things. And I just love laughing at myself because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like so insane.
I go down the grocery store and I find little puns that you can sort of make. Oh, we don't have enough time, for example. And I'm going past the time leaf. And then everyone around me is just like, what the hell? I'm like,
I love that. That's so great. Yeah, I am constantly laughing at this, like how I look. Like if I ever look bad and I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, but I laugh and I'm like, I can't believe I looked like this, especially because like I ride to the train station to catch the train because I don't drive.
Yep.
I look like an idiot on my bike. Like no one looks sexy in a bike helmet.
No.
Like nobody. Like,
You can try, but you haven't been wearing it for too long.
Yeah, right? Like I always think that like at the start of Legally Blonde and there's the girl on the bike. She's got no helmet on, no protective wear. Whatever. She's wearing a skirt and like a mini like baby tee.
Yeah.
And she's on the bike and she looks so gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, amazing. I see myself on my bike and I do not look like that. I'm like a turtle in like a raincoat with a helmet and like a massive
It's the
backpack.
helmet that ruins it, I swear.
It
Everything.
is. I would look so gorgeous, but I've got like this massive helmet on. And then when it's spring and it's like magpie season, that I've got like antennas. Yeah. It's so great. The magpie season thing, if you're not from Australia, you won't understand. But we have these insane birds that like when they have babies and if you walk past their nest, which is in a tree, they will like swoop you and just, like try to peck your eyes out.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
If you go Google it,
Genuinely insane.
Majority of the time
Some of
you'll
the funniest videos though. Oh my gosh.
But people stop and take a video of it rather than saving the person. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. I saw this one on like a kid on a scooter and he was going down a hill. Did you see that?
And the dad's just recording it.
Yeah. I felt so bad. I was like, and he was like screaming. He's like,
help.
Oh my goodness. Anyway.
Oh my God.
See, me and Dina are so funny. All right. So just like what I asked you before, what do you think are some misconceptions that people have about humor?
I feel a lot of people have that misconception that you have to have a certain place. There's a time and a place to laugh about it.
Yeah.
And I think I said that a little bit earlier as well. But it's true. Like you can't always control it. And sometimes you have no reason to sort of laugh about it. I switch from cry to laughter very quickly.
Oh yeah, me too.
I laugh about how I cry. I'm looking in the mirror and I'm staring at myself after I'm crying, and I'm just like, yeah, that's a bit weird today.
Yeah.
Like, you can laugh about pretty much anything. And I think another misconception that I've sort of realized is that a lot of people have different types of humor. What you find funny is not what a lot of people find funny.
Other people find funny. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And I think that self-deprecating humor is always going to be something that everyone's on the fence about.
Totally. Yeah, it's a very fine line for some people.
For me, I laugh and say, oh, I'm so stupid. But there are people that are just like, don't call yourself that. And
yeah, because I guess it goes with that whole like manifestations and like affirmations thing.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes I look stupid.
That's my affirmation.
When I'm on a bike, I'm like, I look like a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
I don't like, I know I'm joking and I know I'm not actually an idiot, but like, I look stupid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't find me hot. Like if I saw me on a bike, I'd be like, damn, that chick is a nerd. Like
it's like when you're running after the train as well.
Oh my gosh.
And then to catch that little second like split open of the door.
Yeah. And you know you look like an idiot.
My face does not look attractive. Nothing.
Nobody looks cute. And you get on, you're like trying to like breathe. And you're like
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's like, I definitely think that that's one of the biggest misconceptions is that people don't have like the same kind of humor. People have the same kind of humor.
Yeah, definitely. Like people need to be, and you need to have that understanding of where the lines are for some certain people. Like some people are going to find things funny, like the self-deprecating humor, like we find funny.
Yeah.
But that's because we know we're joking. We're not coming from a place of seriousness. Whereas like some people take themselves quite seriously. And for some people, having that self-deprecating humor is not healthy for them.
Yeah.
It's not good for their headspace. And there are negative types of humor, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask you, how has humor and just the comedy in life affected your daily life?
I think whenever I'm in a sort of a bad space or whether I'm stressed out, I'm always trying to find the humor. I think I find myself more funny when I'm struggling through stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad actually knows when I'm struggling because I come up with the stupidest humor. I start laughing about the weirdest things and he's like, yeah, I know you're stressed.
Are you okay? Yeah.
You just need to breathe. And especially if I'm either hungry or on a withdrawal as well. Like you can definitely tell that I'm talking too much and talking stuff that just does not make sense.
Yeah.
So it definitely does affect my daily life in terms of how I cope with things. And it's become such a way of understanding that you can laugh about everything.
Yeah.
And everything is funny. In some way, everything is funny. Like it's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So I love putting humor into my daily life as much as I can.
Yeah.
And keeping people around me who laugh about life as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Having funny people around you is like so crucial.
Yeah.
When people, it's like my biggest pet peeve. I'm like, you're not funny.
Yeah, no.
Please be funny.
Yeah, just laugh about this with me. Come on.
I'm like, it's funny, guys.
Like someone fell down off a bike. I'm like, and that's trying so hard not to laugh.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you shouldn't laugh. It's not serious. It's not funny. I'm like, yeah, but I would laugh if I fell off a bike.
Yeah, me too. I laugh when I fall off my bike.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what just happened?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely. I think humor is a crucial part of everyday life. Yes. Like if you can't laugh at yourself, then like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
Like if you can't find things funny, I don't know. Like I love all my friends. Like God bless them. I love them so much. But some of them just aren't funny. Yeah. I'm going to be straight up, like real. Like some of them are just not. Like, no. You guys aren't funny. Like, I'm sorry. I love you all. But like, God. And I'm just like, I miss my funny friends. And I had a phone call last night with like 2 of my best friends from Queensland.
Yeah.
And I just like forgot how funny they were. And it just made me so happy because I was just like, you guys, these are my people. Like, you guys are so funny. Yeah. I love you so much. Like, humor is such a crucial part for me because like, if I'm not laughing, then life just gets too much.
Yeah.
And like,
I gotta laugh about everything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And we've got a lot going on in our lives, like just so much on our plate. It's just like you need that humor because like that's my serotonin release. Like that's my
Exactly.
my boost for the day.
Yep.
Like laughing is so crucial. So speaking of the cruciality, is that even a word? Yeah, we're making it a word.
Yeah,
Speaking of
great.
the importance, there we go. Yeah, see,
that's
my
funny.
gosh. Yeah, right. What was that? Stanford University actually has, I found this so insane. Stanford University in the States has a business course that teaches students how to utilize their humor and build it into everyday thinking for like business purposes.
Okay.
So insane, right? Like they've actually got a course on like how being funny can help you like in business and in life.
Yeah.
But the crucial question here, which is very controversial for some people.
Okay.
Do you think you can be taught to be funny? Do you think humor can be taught?
I think you can be taught.
Okay.
I do think that you can be taught to utilize your humor in a way that's sort of like when you talk about hospitality, you want customers to sort of come up to you and talk. Like for me, when I a couple of years ago, I was working in a cafe for like helping someone out. And I found I related so much to the customers when I sort of joked around with them while I was taking their order and sort of had more fun with the job. Not just like take your order and go away. It's more like you want them to come back. And I feel like if a business course can sort of teach someone how to utilize the humor that they have in order to make clients and all that stuff, I feel like it's definitely something that's worth doing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think it is something that can be taught. I think people naturally have it because of maybe the environment they've grown up in or I know they've just been exposed to it more. So I think some people can like naturally grow up to be funnier. As we know, some people are just not funny. But I think you can be taught to be funny. I don't know. Like I think obviously Stanford University thinks you can. So I think that's pretty
Stanford.
yeah, right? I think it's pretty good. But like, yeah, if you look at drama classes or anything like that, you look at acting school, like learning how to do physical comedy, like dark comedy, all that kind of stuff. Like you can be taught it. And there are certain things that make stuff funny. I find it so interesting. Like I don't know, not the science behind it, but just like the reasons that we find certain things funny and how certain things come off as funny. I always found that so interesting. Like, you know, David Schwimmer from Friends, the guy who plays Ross?
Yes.
He has like such good comedic timing and his physical comedy.
Yep.
Even though it's not like slapstick comedy, but his physical comedy is so good.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so precise. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like he knows exactly what it is.
Yeah, just the way, even the interviews that he's done.
Yeah.
Like he's really funny. I think
he's really funny.
One of the people that I think has the best timing in the world is Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The way that he just sort of comes in to anything, whether it's an interview or a film, it's just like he has that timing to look serious, but it's not taken seriously.
Definitely.
And like him playing Deadpool, I think there was a movie, Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yeah.
Like the way that everyone is just like, he's not trying to be funny, but he's just coming off as like this jerk who is so funny.
Yeah, he's really good at that.
Yeah, like that's the kind of humor I love. Like that's something my whole family love watching anything Ryan Reynolds. Actually.
Oh my goodness. He is really funny. He's great. I love him with Sandra Bullock in the Proposal.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah.
They're both so funny in that. Like it's just that is like my perfect humor. I love that. But yeah, I definitely think he can be taught. I think if someone doesn't find themselves funny, I think it's definitely worthwhile like learning how to be funny.
Yeah.
Because it is so crucial because it's like a bonding thing.
Yeah.
I think if you can make someone laugh like in the course of like, especially in business, and this is probably why Stanford has been like, yeah, we really need to utilize this.
Yes.
Is because if you can make someone laugh, they associate like these good feelings with you.
Yeah, the serotonin that comes in. Yeah,
totally. And they're just like, oh, that was a good experience.
Exactly.
Even if everything else was like pretty mediocre.
Yeah.
Like if you got them to laugh, it's like success.
Yes.
You did well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm like, if I can get someone to laugh, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Like, I did my job.
Like, I actually completed something.
Yeah.
I think it's always funny when you try, like, you see the King's Guards outside. They always try to make them laugh, and they do the weirdest things to try.
Random.
And like, imagine if one of them accidentally just like starts laughing.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how people do that. I can't. I'm like, nope. No self-control. Okay, so we've spoken about how important humor is and how it affects us on the daily life. And there are a lot of benefits to having good humor, as we've already discussed. It helps release feel-good hormones, which I love. Like, it's a workout for your face and your stomach. And apparently it's good for your cardiovascular system. Totally random. But yeah, apparently laughing really hard. That's great. This is why you need to have funny friends, people.
Yes.
so you can
It
laugh.
helps the health.
Yeah, it helps your health, guys. And obviously people bond over jokes.
Yes.
However, as we've mentioned already, humor can sometimes be taken too far.
Yep.
There is a line.
Yes.
There are things, and you need to know your audience, and you need to understand where certain lines are for certain people. And I think as culture has developed, especially in the past decade, we are much more attuned to, like, you know, what comedians can and can't say and all that kind of stuff. When do you think that humor can be taken too far and can begin to have a negative effect?
I think that it definitely can be taken too far when it focuses so much on a minority.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of comedians love to like go at the minority and sort of make a joke about it, and it's funny some of the time, but other times it's just like, okay, this is actually going to affect how people are going to view this group, and it's going to be very detrimental to how this group can go through society. It's definitely something that, like, I love listening to comedians, and especially when they talk about their own minority group. Like, there's a lot of people, they have fun with it, but when they start talking about someone else's, I'm like, okay, this can be either too much,
There's a line.
too little.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's fun, but there's definitely that moment where you're just like, okay, you shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially since, I don't know, minority groups have been the target, like, for, you know, comedians just like for so long. Like, they just constantly pick on these minority groups. And it's just like, you can't do that. Like, if you have to pick on someone to be funny, you're not funny.
No.
Like, it's just like, that's not, like, if you have to go out of your way to make like an inappropriate joke, a racist joke, a sexist joke, it's not funny. Like, it's just not, like, just don't.
Yeah.
Like, it's not acceptable.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, and like, you can joke about your own minority. It's like, you know, like when you like pick on your family, you joke about your family.
Yeah,
but if someone else did that, you'd be like, no.
It's like, I'm throwing hands now.
Right? Like, you hate your siblings, but if someone else hates your siblings,
yeah, I hate them.
And it's like, no, you can't do that. That's my property.
Exactly.
So yeah, there is a line, and I think it can definitely be taken too far. And I think this new generation coming through is definitely walking a fine line for some things. There are some things that I see and I'm just like, I'm like, you guys, like, you know, some of them, it's either like super woke, like way in the other direction, or it's like way off in like, just like major, like, just like really inappropriate, really immature, just like way too, just like R-rated. I'm just like, this is not cool, guys. And they're so young.
Yeah, they're so young.
And it freaks me out. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is terrifying.
Especially when they don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it's just like remember when you're in high school and you hear people say all these other words and then you're just like, I have no idea what any of them mean.
No idea what that means.
Now that you've grown up, like, you understand it a whole lot more and understand why it shouldn't be said.
Yeah, totally.
And I think a lot of people, I think there are some people who would say that everyone's too sensitive these days.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
And
what do you think about that?
To some extent, I kind of agree.
Yeah.
Some extent.
Me too.
I think some extent there needs to be a place where we're just like, okay, this can't be said. This shouldn't be said. This has been said for 100 decades. There's no reason why you need to be able to say it. It's something that's like, for example, like for me, I'm a Muslim as well. So when you hear those against Muslim jokes or terrorist jokes, I'm just like, it's been done before.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
so
just
overhearing
so
it now.
Yeah.
So there is that point where I'm just like, okay, it doesn't need to be said and no one needs to keep making it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely the minority that I'm always strongly against talking about. But
oh my gosh, yeah.
it's fun. I can laugh about it, but for someone else to laugh about it is kind of less like, I'm like,
no thanks.
yeah, we don't want to hear it.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think that social media, especially with this young generation coming through, do you think that social media has sort of perpetuated these like negative side effects of comedy, like this negative, like very dark form of comedy? Do you think social media has really helped that come through in terms of like people are really pushing the boundaries on what's funny?
I think it's given so many people a platform as to what they don't need a platform for.
Yep.
Like a lot of people, there are a lot of people on there that are just like, yeah, you don't need to have a reason to speak up on here.
Yeah.
But they do have the chance.
Yeah.
They do have the opportunity, which I think sucks for so many people. There are some comedy that I like, dark humor that I love.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I think I saw this TikTok of this girl who says, me who's able to struggle and live through life, and it switches to her sister's headstone. It's like her who's not able to struggle, and I'm like, there is
Yeah.
like the fact that she can find humor in that as well, I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah.
And it takes a whole lot of other meanings to a lot of people. A lot of people got offended by it. A lot of people also said, okay, it's good that she's able to laugh about it, and they were able to make something. I don't know whether that's drawing over the line or not. I think everyone has a different view on that. So I'm not sure how to
it's hard. Like I don't think there is any one clear line, because it's in those kinds of situations, it's like, she saw the humor in that. Is anyone else allowed to laugh at it though besides her?
Yeah, exactly. You
like,
don't know whether you're allowed to laugh.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when like you joke about your own trauma, and it's like you can joke about it with like your other friends who also have trauma, but then like when other people and they're like, that's not really funny. Serious. Yeah, they're like, that's sad. And I'm like,
you should talk to someone. I actually had that friend and I was like, I had that too. I am talking.
Yeah, no, I've had that too. Like I think I was in a class once with a guy, and he was a close friend of mine, and we went out on a few dates and it was fun. Anyway, and he knew me quite well, and that like I've just had like a lot of people die in my life, just like so much death, just like I don't understand what it's about. Like it's just every year like clockwork, like someone dies. Anyway, see, and I have to laugh about this. So I don't know, I laughed about it or something, and we were in the class and just like no one else, like I didn't say it like super like publicly or anything, but he just turned to me and he was like, you can't say that. He was like, I know that you think this is funny. He's like, and I'm laughing with you because I know. He's like, he was like, but like, boo, like you can't say that. That's enough. Like he was like, you're gonna alarm somebody. And I was like, oh yeah. I was like, okay, true. Like this is like what I didn't say anything offensive. This is like, for disclaimer, I didn't say anything like terrible, but I was just laughing about like
the situation.
Yeah, I was laughing because another person had died, and I was like, oh damn. It's like so inconvenient, guys. Like we've got assignments on. Like, can you please just like hold off?
No, I can laugh about that one,
right?
Because it's happened for me probably the last 3 years. Just bang. I'm like,
too.
Why?
Start of every year. Start of every year. Someone died.
Mine's the end.
Yeah. Really?
Mine's like
so
the
weird.
stress time, and I'm just like, really?
See, we can laugh about it.
Yeah.
But for someone else, like when I was sitting there with him and he was like, I know you find this funny. He was like, but like that girl over there did not find that funny. And I was like, I know, but like I've got to laugh about it.
Yeah.
because like this yeah, I'm like, if I get serious about the fact that like someone dies in my life like every single year,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's just a bit depressing.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that.
No.
I gotta laugh about this and how inconvenient it is that I gotta keep buying new outfits for funerals. Like, you know, like, oh my goodness. But like, there are lines.
Yeah.
There are certain things.
Yeah. When it's talking about your own life, I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about someone else's life and you try to find the humor in someone else's
that's
situation.
not your responsibility.
No, exactly.
Like you definitely shouldn't go out of your way to make like someone else's situation funny unless it's like something that they're also doing.
Yeah.
Like you have no say in that.
Exactly.
Like you can't speak about what they're going through because you don't know what they're going through.
Exactly.
And it's like, you laugh about you, like you do you, boo. But just like, don't be out here like poking fun at other people, because if you have to laugh at someone else, like to be funny, like if you have to like poke, it's like those comedians that only make jokes about sex and racism.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? If that is all of your material, like you're not funny, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's not original.
Yeah.
Like I consider you a good comedian if you can like make like humor out of like the small everyday things in life. Yeah. I feel like Jerry Seinfeld is really good at this.
A man making feminist jokes.
Yeah.
You hear it and you're like, oh, come on.
So typical.
But it's also like a woman making a male, making jokes about a male.
Yeah.
There's no exception to it. I feel like you can only make it if you're in that minority.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we've discussed that and the lines on that. But obviously at the end of the day, humor can help us laugh when we are struggling to see the good in certain situations, and it can be a healthy coping mechanism, as we've already discussed. What advice do you have for people who are struggling to see the humor in life?
I think go out and find something that you could laugh about. Like for me, I love going to comedy shows and comedy festivals that come up, and I'm going to one next month, which I'm so excited for.
Yeah.
I think that's the way that I used to do it. And I used to just watch, for me, there's this group specifically on like based in the UK that's called Sidemen. And for me, I've been watching them all throughout from lockdown till now.
Yeah.
And I love how they take their life. And that's the sort of way that I found comedy. It's like comedy in every day.
Yeah.
But if I'm not going through something well or I'm stressed, I watch them and I have them on in the background and I'm just enjoying what they have to give. And it's the whole reason why they're on YouTube as well. So I just go out and find it. If I'm not finding it in my own life, I go find it in watching someone else's. Yeah. So not stalkery or anything, but like
not stalkery or anything.
I'm not you, okay? I'm not Joe. But like
that's so good. Yeah. No, I definitely and I think for people who are struggling to see the humor in life, I think everyone has a different humor style. Some people are very sarcastic, and you find this in different cultures and different places and like all these different sort of situations. Like some cultures have different kinds of humor, like British people, very sarcastic, very dry humor. Yeah,
I cannot get American humor.
No, I can't either. No.
British humor I can get.
Yeah, British humor.
Australian humor, I'm like.
I feel like Brit humor is just like so like self-deprecating and like so dry and sarcastic and just like mean. And I feel like so that's why like a lot of people think that like British people are so harsh. They're like, they're so mean. And it's like, like they're really straightforward. But I love it though. I'm just like, that's great.
Like I love watching like their channels and all the channels that are based in the UK.
I love it.
Funny.
Oh my gosh, so
Americans,
funny.
I don't get.
They're so happy.
They just like go high on everything.
Yeah, they're just like so like
and Australians are very different as well.
We have a very unique sense of humor. Yeah, I honestly love it. Like to me, like nothing is funnier than an Aussie boy. Like I love, like I don't know what it is because I feel like it's got that good dose of like British like sarcasticness and like dryness, but it's just got that undercurrent of like creativity that I just love. I think that's why I love listening to like, have you heard the Inspired Unemployed?
Yes.
I love them. They're so funny. Their podcast is genuinely the funniest thing ever because they just like, they understand comedic timing like so well.
Yep.
And I feel like that's something that just like Aussies have like quite well. It's just like we know how to put like a good timing.
Yeah.
Like good spin.
Yeah.
It's very like.
But they're also self-deprecating.
Yeah.
They're also, but in a different way.
Yeah, in a very different way. And
like,
I
feel like UK is very depressive, self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
Us is just like, you're so dumb. You're so, like, we just say that so easily.
Yeah, she'll be right.
Yeah. She'll be right.
She'll be right. Yeah.
Like, she falls over and breaks her hip. She'll be right.
Yeah.
like, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, it's so great. But yeah, I think if like, for people who are struggling to see the humor in life, definitely knowing what kind of humor you like.
Yeah.
And figuring out, because there isn't just one type. There's lots of different types. Some people like more like slapstick, physical comedy, you know, like the kind of like 50s, 60s, very safe comedy. Some people like the dark humor. Some people like the sarcastic dryness, or you have to have like that outright funniness that the people have in the States. It's all about learning what you like, because there's just so many different things, and you can laugh at like, I don't know, like funny cat videos as well. It doesn't have to be like humans.
I live with them. I don't need
them. Right, I love funny animal videos.
Oh God,
like it's so great. Like it's just, I love like funny, and cats do stupid stuff.
Yes. I feel like dogs do more though.
Dogs are weird. Like dogs are just so stupid.
Yeah.
Like they just like, cats do weird stupid stuff, but just like dogs are just so like straight up dumb.
They're just like they have no brain.
No, they don't. One brain cell.
No.
One brain cell. And I love it. I'm just like, oh, like they're so happy. Yeah. They just like just fall off everything.
Like
them and they
just running straight into a glass door. I'm just like, oh God.
That's a mood. So great. Yeah, exactly. I think like seeing the funniness just in like animals. I love that. It's great. Like they're funny. Yeah. They're funny guys. I think they're really funny.
I think they're funny.
It's great. Okay. And final question, which is kind of related to the question above. Where do you find your comedic relief? Where do you go looking for it?
Like I said a little bit earlier, I love to go to comedy festivals and just go. I do love, if I'm not able to go to a show, I'll just go find something that they show on YouTube, or like I love trying to find out different people who are comedians. And I know Netflix has so many different comedians there that I just love going to. Yeah. I love watching. I love listening to it. And yeah, I love being able to be a part of a community that's into being funny. And that's why I love going to them, because there's just like everyone there is just knowing what they're getting into. Yeah. You're not expecting anyone to feel offended. Everyone can get the joke. That's why they're there. Yeah. So yeah, I love being a part of it.
Oh, I love that. Do you have like a favorite comedian or like favorite comedians?
For me, I love watching, there's this guy, I forgot his name, but I know his stage name. It's called Fluffy. Okay.
Oh, Gabrielle Iglesias?
Yeah. Yeah. I love watching him
he's so
much.
Funny. My gosh, my mom loves him.
Yeah, because I love how he's self-deprecating, but not in a sad way. Yeah. Like he's just so...
He's so funny.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
And like he had a show that that Netflix put out with him as well. Yeah. And it was like, I watched everything that he came up with. And when he comes to Australia, I'm going to like book every ticket.
Oh, he's so great. I've been watching him for years. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
It was like a lockdown favorite. I just kept watching it and watching it.
That's so great. Oh my gosh. I went through like a John Mulaney phase during lockdown. Oh, I find him so funny. I think he's so hilarious. Yeah. I love. Have you seen Jack Whitehall?
Yes.
Oh, he's so funny. I love.
He doesn't even try.
No, he doesn't.
He just says it, and I'm like, oh God.
I love him so much. He's so great. Like, oh my goodness, so good.
And you have it on the background. You don't even need to be like actively watching it as well,
because they're literally just standing on stage. Like, besides like some of the more physical comedians, like Jack Whitehall, and like some of the stuff you have to be like physically watching. But like, a lot of it you can just listen to. Yeah, which is so great.
Exactly.
I love. Okay, so we're going to go into the practice habit debrief section now.
Yay.
So this is a part of the show where I'm going to ask Dina what she does that specifically helps her bring humour into her everyday life. So what is a practice that you do to bring humour into your everyday life?
Well, I love trying to go out and finding comedy.
Yeah.
Like going to shows, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I also I love being around people who are funny.
Yes, it's my favorite thing in the whole world.
I cannot hang out with people that are serious for too long.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm lucky. I grew up with a dad who is literally the biggest goofball in the entire world.
Yeah.
And he is pretty much the person that I go to for comedic relief for anything. He combats my self-deprecating humor quite a lot. He's like, yeah, Dina, you are. He'll just go along with it. Like, we both know it's not true, but we have that that banter with each other quite often.
Yeah. I love good banter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. He calls me an idiot a lot of the time, and that's the way we go.
Yeah. I love it.
But he's such a big teddy bear in reality. So I get a lot of my humor from him, which I'm glad. He is my sister, him and I, we're all the biggest comedic. My mom's the more serious one. So seeing the three of us joke around each other, and she just comes in and she's like, no.
Not seeing it. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I think going out to find it in the everyday life is definitely a crucial part. Yeah, and having funny people.
Yes.
I think that's always so good. But do you face any challenges when you're trying to do this?
I mean, obviously when it goes to the comedy shows, they're not cheap.
Yeah. So they're not. Oh my gosh. I wanted to see John Mulaney was here literally a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to go. And I couldn't afford it.
No, exactly. To keep going to those shows as well. I know that especially in Melbourne, there are a lot of free shows that sort of underground sort of, it's word of mouth kind of shows and I love going. I go to those when I can.
Oh, good.
But I think it's having the time, knowing that I need to go to it.
Yeah,
and spend the time out of to go to it. Yeah. So there is one of those two challenges that I go through, and also having. I think the last one I would say is that I don't always I have trouble finding people who are as funny as I am.
Yeah.
Or in the same region of funny.
Yeah.
I have such a dark humor, but I also have the most weirdest humor where I'm making puns out of everything. I love that. And then a lot of my friends, I send videos to them of me saying that, and they're just like, really? And I'm just laugh.
Yeah,
just go with it.
It's funny. Okay. Yeah.
So that is 3 of the challenges. My best friend, she is as much as I love her, she's not a funny person.
Yeah, mine neither.
She does not get humor.
Yeah.
She doesn't have that humorous bone in her body.
No.
She makes no comment about it, and I'm like, oh, okay. We're not 12-year-olds together.
Yeah.
It's more like a 40-year-old and a 12-year-old.
I love that. That's so funny.
In a legal way. But
friendship way.
Yeah, in a friend way. We gotta be clear.
Just to clarify. Oh my gosh. I must not. And I was like, why did she say that? My brain took a hot second. Anyway, yeah. But no, I get you though. I love my best friend, my Melbourne best friend. My Brisbane best friend, she's so insane. She's so self-deprecating and so intense that she's so funny. She has no filter. She's she's such a gem. I love her so much. God bless her. But my Melbourne best friend is a lot more tame.
Yeah.
And I love her so much. I really love her. But she's not funny.
No.
She's just, and I'm like, babe, you can laugh. We do laugh at each other sometimes. We do have fun.
Yeah.
And we do laugh.
Yeah.
But her humor isn't exactly aligned with mine.
Yeah.
And
that.
But yeah. But I do love, you find those you like randomly find those people who have the same humor as you, and it's just such a good feeling. You're like, yes.
Yeah. I like, oh, honestly, I don't know how me and my best friend actually get along as well as we do. We act like she's so serious.
Really?
Like, so she doesn't joke.
Wow.
Like, that's how serious she is.
Wow.
She'll cry about stuff, but she hasn't really found the the laughter in a lot of stuff. So I'm that person that she goes to be like, she's just like, yeah, I feel like I'm far off in life than you are. And I'm laughing about that. And she's like, Dina, I'm actually being serious.
Like, oh, okay.
And I'm like, well, that's cool.
Cool, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever
like,
works
well,
for you.
that's fun.
Yeah, so great.
Like, I love her, but she's just...
Yeah. No, yeah, we love them.
Well, yeah, we still love them.
Yeah, of course.
I wouldn't be mentioning it. I wouldn't be talking badly about her.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, they're our best friends. Like,
Yeah.
we love them.
Exactly.
They're just not funny.
No. They know it too.
I don't know. No, God bless her. She thinks she's funny. It's so I love it.
Okay.
Like,
when they try, it's cute.
And I'm like, oh, sweetie.
And
you're so cute.
and it doesn't work.
Yeah, she will say it though. She's like, I'm funny.
Yeah.
Like straight after something, she'd be like, wow, I'm so funny. And like that completely defeated the joke. Yeah. You just like put out the flames. Yeah. She's like, aren't I funny? And I'm like, yeah, babe, mate, you're really funny. She's
That's
like, okay,
funny.
great. Yeah. I laugh at her because she's like, yes. She's like, I'm funny. This is great. Oh my goodness. Anyway, okay. And finally, how do you think this impacts your personal resilience? Yeah, going back to the deep stuff. Emma.
Yeah. Well, I think it affects I think we mentioned coping mechanisms before.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely is developed into my coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And the way that I deal with resilience is that I sort of just laugh about life, laugh about things that haven't worked out.
Yeah.
And that helps me a lot to go through it in a way that I'm just not as affected by it as I would be if I didn't have humor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. No, I'm with you 100% on the coping mechanism. Yeah. Like I've already spoken it on the show. Like I'm like, if I don't laugh, then I'm going to cry. Yeah. So I'm like, I need to laugh.
Yeah. And like for me, I think I did mention this earlier, but I love making self-deprecating TikToks about it as well. Like situations didn't work out. I'm like, oh, relationship didn't work out. Yeah. And then 2019, 2018, it goes back down to like those times. Yeah. And so I love sort of just joking about it. Yeah. And it's the way that I deal with it. I think a lot of people, they're like, you shouldn't be talking about your life like online, and I'm like, well, it's the way I deal with it. I don't really care how you take it. Yeah. But I don't really care how much likes it gets or anything like that. For me, it's just posting it as a way of relief. Yeah. So definitely. Yeah. No, I'm definitely with you there. And I think it has definitely always been like a coping mechanism for me for my like bringing up my resilience and being able to bounce back, because like if I take it seriously, then I'm going to get too upset. And like, obviously, you know, this isn't the whole, you know, I'm not trying to like push stuff away or ignore, you know, feelings or anything. Like, like that's not what we're getting at. Like, it's obviously you have to recognize your feelings and your thoughts. And like, if you're going through a hard time, then like you need to recognize that and you need to be able to sit with it. But like you also need to be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel and being able to be like, you know what, that was bad. It was a little bit funny. Yeah. It didn't work out. Yeah, exactly. That was hilarious. Yeah. And just sort of being able to see that lightness in it, because it's like if you just take everything so seriously, then life just gets too exhausting. Like who has the energy for that? No. It's so much easier to just be like, you know what, that didn't work out. It takes more muscles in your body to cry than laugh. Seriously? Yeah. Wow. There you go. Yeah. Exactly. See? Cry to work out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great. So we're going to go into a quick little open mic. So this is the part where the guest gets to talk about anything that they're passionate about. Mm-hmm. So Dina has the floor. What do you want to talk about? Yeah. So I would love to sort of use this time to sort of promote my 2 shows on family and parenting. Those 2 shows are really near and dear to my heart, especially when dealing with different kind of family situations. And we talk about family estrangement, sibling estrangement. I think we recently talked about remarriage, making a second marriage work, and all those things. And I love dealing with those kind of topics. And really, I'm such a nerd when it comes to random facts. So I love learning a little bit more on those too. And I have some amazing guests. I mean, like Tia's show, we have some amazing guests on ours.
Yes.
And I love being a part of sort of the family and parenting area. And so, definitely go and check out those shows for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. We'll leave the links to Dina's shows in the description below because you do have a lot of cool guests. And honestly, your shows are really interesting. And I feel like you learn a lot of like actually helpful skills in life, which is so important because family is just like everyone's got one. It's there, whether it's your friends or your biological family or whatever it is.
Exactly. And even with parenting, I don't have kids myself, but
no, neither of us do.
And I think like that's what I love about it because it teaches me even before I'm even thinking about kids to how I would live my life before I had kids. Yeah, so, exactly. Like I love taking it from that perspective. Even though I don't have kids, I love
and even just as being siblings, it's always just like helpful to understand how you can just like make your parents' life easier and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. I've done a lot of what's it called? I've done a lot of examples and sort of reenacted what a situation between a guest.
Some role play.
Yeah. I've pretended to have fake kids and like hypothetically what would happen.
I love pretending to have kids.
I know, right?
It's like
so much fun.
I'm just like, 2-year-olds.
It's like pretending to be married.
Right? Oh my gosh, me on a daily basis, honestly. I'm just like, can I take a picture of this for my husband? Like, sure.
I'll walk into a engagement ring store and be like, just have fun.
Oh my goodness, so good. So definitely go listen to Dina's shows. We'll have the links in the description. But that brings us to the end of today's podcast. Thank you so much, Dina, for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So much fun.
I know, I love talking about humor.
Nice. Yes, we love talking about humor. And we'll leave the links to Dina's shows and all her details and all that stuff in the description below.
Follow me on TikTok.
Yeah. Do you want to plug some social medias or?
Yeah, go for it. Follow me on Instagram at Dina Sargeant and also follow me on TikTok as well.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah. I'm starting to get more active on there than Instagram now. So.
Check out Dina's self-deprecating TikToks. Amazing. Awesome. Yeah, if you want some real humor, head over there, guys.
Yeah, my face is already humorous.
She's funny. So good. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's been such a pleasure. And to our listeners, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
You have been listening to Bouncing Back, the Personal Resilience Science Insights podcast produced by the Life Management Science Labs. Listen to episodes from LMSL's 10 Life Management Perspectives on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or other podcasting apps on your smartphone. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider rating our show, sharing it, and subscribing to our channel, as it helps others find us and us grow to bring you more quality resources. More of our work can be found on our website at pr.lmsl.net, where you can join our movement. I'm Tia. Thanks for tuning in.